Hey, I'm one of the founders here at BuildBetter, and I'm accompanied with Nikhil, which I'll introduce a little bit later. He's over here on the screen. But the problem that we're trying to solve right now is probably a problem that all of us are experiencing, which is everyone is vibe coding and they're all getting work done, which is amazing. When you see a problem, you should be empowered to fix it. But that handoff transition can be really cumbersome and painful. We are creating scopes and plans and spec-driven development, which is great, but oftentimes there's a lot more context in that conversation that wasn't getting necessarily in that nuance of what exactly are we trying to build? Why did we ultimately make these decisions? And wouldn't it be a miracle? Wouldn't it be magical if we can just give someone else our chat history and our conversation that we're having with Codex or Claude? So that's what we built. We call it BuildBetter CI. And basically what you can do is you'll see here, I'm in Codex. And I have had a conversation. So I'm looking on a feature, and this feature is basically adding LLM chat history to BuildBetter for us to be able to extract signals from that so I can make better product decisions based off of what the things that our people are asking BuildBetter chat. You can see here that it created a scoping plan and did all this kind of technical stuff that I probably don't really know. And I had it create a PR. Now on Nikhil's machine, where I'm going to hand it off to, he is going to see what he sees on his screen. So Nikhil, if you want to get started. So I gave him the PR ID, which was 3308. He can obviously see it on GitHub, but he has no context on like what I was chatting with and why I was ultimately asking it that question. So yeah, I'll hand it over to you, Nikhil.
Cool. Yeah, so I don't really have context for this feature, and not for the sake of the video. I actually have no idea what this feature is about. So I'm just gonna go ahead and copy this branch name and go to my terminal and git checkout. Well, first of all, git fetch, and then git checkout that branch name. Again, no idea what it's actually about, so I'm gonna go git status. But because Spencer has the BuildBetter command line installed on his computer and hooks installed into his agents, I can run BB agent sessions resume, and I can see all of the agent sessions that Spencer was collaborating with his agent on his own computer. So I'm just going to hit enter here, and it should magically take me to his PR, or sorry, to his conversation inside of Codex. So just to be clear, this is the Codex session that Spencer had on his computer, and BuildBetter has automatically uploaded it, parsed it, and understands the overall intent, but it also lets me just resume it locally from my own machine. So I'm going to tell it, hey, Codex, you're now on Nikhil's machine, and I need a little bit of context on what this PR was about. Can you explain it to me from first principles and at a high level? And I'm going to delete that because that was my weird voice dictation happening. And before I get it to go, for the sake of this video, I'm going to get it to go on medium. Goes a little faster.
And what's cool with this too is you can imagine having hours and hours of conversations with, Codex and Claude, and there's so much nuance in that detail. And sometimes, we move branches, we move to different PRs. This project was from 6 months ago, and I have no idea what I was chatting with or what was the context from it from 6 months ago. So once these PRs get merged and once these things get merged, we often lose that chat, we lose that session, we lose all that knowledge. And now we don't have to. All this information is now being stored in BuildBetter, where you can resume it in any machine at any stage. And I think that's really cool because sometimes once we've shipped something, we need to go back and fix it once it's been shipped, and we have to start from scratch. And now we don't have to start from scratch. So Nikhil right now he's reviewing it. Obviously, it has the plan and scoping doc, but he can also ask any questions about the chat history that what was Spencer's intent? What was he trying to accomplish with it? Instead of just, hoping that the context is in the code, which is pretty great.
This is so cool. I really like this feature. So it's basically So BuildBetter as a product is trying to automate as much of the product operation cycle as possible, including like getting feedback from customers and sort of as a new ICP, getting feedback from agents themselves. And so it looks like this feature is basically a log ingestion and signal extraction feature that takes an LLM or like that takes any LLM's output and basically in any format or like in any framework that runs an LLM, whether it's like AI SDK or OpenAI's agents framework or just a plain like responses API call, and ingests it into BuildBetter and then tries to run signals over it. Do I have that right,
Yeah.
Spencer?
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And
I
the
think the
goal, of
biggest
course,
go
go
ahead.
on.
Go ahead. I just browsing the summary that it gave me just now, the biggest objection that I have to it is that we're sort of ingesting into the conversation model, which is more for like agent or sorry, for like human to human communication, like customer
Yeah.
support channels or Slack or whatever. So we may want to adjust that. So I'm just going to tell the agent to do that. I like the plan so far, but I'd like you to update the exec plan to use a new model for storing agent logs rather than the conversation model. The reason being that conversations are human to human and they are typically like internal team conversations or customer chat, customer service logs. In contrast, these agent logs can be from within the product, as well as like telemetry from, internal team use. Cool.
And what's double cool about this is like it's basically like a PR review without needing to be in GitHub. Like he can basically pull my conversation, have the conversation with chat, give the chat the unfiltered, unstructured conversation. Like today, basically all we're doing is we're hopping on calls. We talk to someone, they give us context, we copy and paste those transcripts, or you put it into a PR, then you get an engineer to give you PR comments. But now I can just say, hey, can you just pull the chat and just talk to it and figure it out? And then I can resume that chat and take it from there. So we don't have to have this like review process back and forth. He can give as much context as he wants in an unstructured way to the chat, and I can just resume back where that is, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Also, increasingly, these agents are getting really good at keeping the right context in frame during compaction events. And so I think as time goes on, the chat itself is going to be just like the best source of truth for any feature, better than any project manager, any PR, or anything else. So very excited for this feature, Spencer.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be great, and I think our customers are going to love it. That's the initial version. That's like the terminal experience. We have a lot of other stuff related to projects and saving this knowledge and extracting things from it to improve what you can imagine. All of these insights are getting saved, and how can you turn that into better reviews, better scoping, better planning from this knowledge? So you'll see a lot more from us in that direction as well. But that's the core of the BuildBetter command line interface. Sweet. Talk to you guys later. Bye.